Neil Gaiman, Anna Kavan, Cormac McCarthy. These are the last three books that I read. These are the last three authors that I read, and each one brought something different to the experience. All of them were good. One of them, an all-time great. I don't want to get into synopses of each of these books. That's not what this is about. Not a book review necessarily, but kind of just how these books made me feel. So first off, Neil Gaiman, his magical realism, his ability to take the reader on a journey into a unique place. He is able to really carve out these spaces that just kind of make you feel like a kid again. You're recapturing something that you've lost somewhere along the way. Not quite sure when, but it's gone. But when you read Neil Gaiman's books and The Ocean at the End of the Lane, specifically, you're recapturing that bit of magic that is lost, I suppose, with childhood. When it comes to Anna Kavan and this book, Ice, this is one of the weirdest books I've ever read. Challenging to read, not because of the language necessarily, although there's some beautiful parts here, but challenging to read because of the subject matter. In this book specifically, I must feel like it's a good thing this was written by a woman. I wonder what the reception would have been if this book was written by a man. Just to give you maybe a snippet of it. Listen to this. I sat on the bed, smoking, watching her face in the mirror as she combed her hair. The smooth sheen of the glittering mass of palely shining hair, its silvery fall on her shoulders. She leaned forward to look at herself, the glass reflected in the beginnings of her small breasts. I watched them move with her breathing, went and stood behind her, put my arms around her, covered them with my hands. She pulled away from me. Not wanting to see her frightened expression, I blew smoke in her face. This book is raw. This book is sexually charged with these weird undertones that make you uncomfortable. But at its heart, this book is mesmerizing. This book is unique. If Neil Gaiman can take you on a journey, this book can just kind of scramble your brain. This book was difficult to read for sure. You know exactly kind of what's happening, what is being said, but it just feels like a dream. Like you're just jumping from one dream to the next. You do not know what the reality is. I think even this is excellent. Right at the beginning, the protagonist says, "Reality has always been something of an unknown quantity to me." There is not a better description to this book than that sentence. Reality is an unknown quantity to Anna Kavan. She, the author, had problems with drugs. She died because of drugs. I believe heroin was her lifelong addiction and destroyed her life, but perhaps also it helped her write these incredible visions, and her life experiences allowed her to have the ease of fluidly, without any interruption, to go from one to the next, from reality to the imaginary. This book does it in a way that no other book does it. A lot of people compare it to Kafka. I read most of Kafka's works, but a long time ago, except for Metamorphosis, which I read last year, I think. This book has that feel of the trial, for example, but it takes it to next level. I loved and hated the reading experience at the same time. Just a challenging read. There's so much here, and it's a science fiction book because it's a dystopian tale. This takes place in a world that is doomed. It's a world that is being overwhelmed by ice. The vision of that world disappearing in this book by Anna Kavan is spectacular. I loved it. Now let's get to the book that I'm gonna cherish for the rest of my life, The Road. This was an experience. I read this book quickly, maybe 3 days. I could not put it down. Cormac McCarthy, sparse prose, is, in my opinion, spectacular. It's beautiful. He gets to the essence without having too many flowery, florid prose. Gets to the essence of what's going on, to the essence of what it means to be human in a situation that these two protagonists, father and son, find themselves in. This impossible journey that they're on is a singular experience for the reader. Not everyone is gonna love it, of course, but I think everyone should try to read this one. This is a strong recommendation. This book affected me like no other. This, I think, had a better view of dystopian future in a world post some sort of apocalyptic event than perhaps any other book I've read. And I've read a lot of them. Station 11 recently, I think last year or 2 years ago. This was incredible. This book touched me so greatly. Being a father myself, I think definitely had something to do with that. But the prose is fabulous because it really gets at the heart of what's going on. So listen to this quick conversation exchange between father and son. The son says, "Things will be better when everyone is gone, when everyone is dead." They will? Sure they will. Better for who? Everybody. The prose really grips you. It really gives you that gut punch like nothing else will. Cormac McCarthy passed away last year. This is a perfect time to rediscover his writings, to reread his works for those who have, or like myself, to dive into his catalog. Blood Meridian was the book that I was going to be reading, but then I just decided to read The Road, as it qualifies for a science fiction read for sure, being a dystopian future, and such an affecting book. I had tears in my eyes. I really pulled for the characters. I connected with them so greatly. All three of these books were great. This was great trio that I really enjoyed, each one for different reasons. None of them, obviously, classic science fiction. Ocean at the End of the Lane, no SF elements at all in it, but all of them were great. And yeah, I'm just really happy that I got a chance to read them back to back to back. Three great authors, three good, excellent, incredible books. And yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments below if you've read these, if you've connected with them, or what problems you've had with those three. Probably Ice is the one that's least known on BookTube. Neil Gaiman and obviously Cormac McCarthy, they are very well known, but Anna Kavan a little bit less so. And I think this is a book that everyone should give a shot and just see what they think. But you need to be in the right mindset to tackle this book. It is going to trip you up at every step. And yeah, I think that's it. Just wanted to let you know my initial thoughts just very quickly as I finished The Road yesterday. And yeah, I need something lighter now for sure. I think I'm gonna read Guards by Pratchett. I think it's time for something lighter. That book has been on my radar for a long time. It's gonna be a quick read, but I need something funny, and I'm hoping that I'm gonna connect with his humor because, as you may know, Douglas Adams, his humor did not gel with me. I'm not a fan of Hitchhiker, but I'm hoping that Discworld will be a hit for me. And that's it for now. Talk to you next time. Leave a comment, give a like, subscribe if you haven't. I'll talk to you soon.